Alright guys, back with another video. So today's video, we're going to be going to a few of my properties and inspecting some of these new cleaners that I have. The reason why I'm having new cleaners, the old ones, they worked really well in the beginning, and I don't know what happened. Either they got complacent or the new hiring that they did, it just wasn't working out. When this happens, you got to be quick to let your cleaners go. And I admit that I've taken a little bit longer than I should have to replace them, but there were so many other things going on that I just wasn't focused. So when I really sat down and looked at the reviews and the ratings, I realized that I had to get rid of these cleaners. So today in Houston, I have two cleaners that will be cleaning two different properties, and I'm going to be able to watch them both and talk to them both and see if either one of these are going to be the next step for my cleaning. In the DC area, I already started the transition to create my own cleaning company because we've been having this issue for the last few years where you hire somebody and they're great initially, and then maybe like 8 to 9 months down the line, it starts to deteriorate, and we let them know, hey, there's something going on, and they say, oh yes, we're gonna fix it, but then they don't. By the time it's the 12-month period, it's already time for replacement. So this is about my second or third time going around replacing cleaners. In DC, we decided we're just gonna go hire our own people and do it directly. That way we have more control over our cleaning process and everything. And we also save money on cleaning costs because now we're not paying an inflated rate. But it can't be at two places at once. So while that's going on in Washington, DC, Houston, I'm just going to quickly replace the current cleaners that we have, hire new ones. And once we finish in Washington, DC, we're going to then move on to Houston and hire our own cleaners here in Houston and then keep going that way. Hopefully one of the two cleaning teams that we met today can be a backup, because at the end of the day, you always need a backup. It doesn't matter if you have your own cleaning business unless you're a huge scale, but if you're small like us, you're going to always need a backup just in case one of your own team lets you down. So maybe there's last minute family emergency and they can't make it, and then you call your other cleaners and they can't make it at the last minute. So you're going to need a cleaning team on standby that you can use, that you trust, that's reliable, that knows your homes in and out and can just step in as needed. With that, let's go check them out. So I had to make a quick stop at the UPS store to get some packages. They're going to be cleaning supplies for the cleaners. I'm providing my own supplies. That way I know exactly what's being used and also can negotiate some prices off of the cleaning costs. So if I provide my own supplies, they'll knock off some of the costs of the cleaning. So this property here has been cleaned a few days ago, so it's not being cleaned today. However, since I'm here, I might as well do an inspection and see what's been done well and what's been missed and make any notes of that. First thing I like to do is go straight for the beds and see how they look. Beds look pretty good. Decent tuck on the sides here and the edges. I don't see any crumbs on the floor or anything of that nature. Next, of course, is the bathroom here. Honestly, it looks like the bathroom could have been done better. I see some streaks in the mirror. I don't know if you can see it here. Also, things like this need to be cleaned. Even in the toilet, some streaks in there. Some streaks on here as well. So anytime you have a new cleaners, you just have to see if they can get certain things and then just coach them through. It's not going to be perfect every time, even though you would think it would be, but some things you just have to teach them or show them, and then moving from there, you can give them another chance, or you can decide right there that you don't want to work with them anymore and need to find someone else. So it's one of those jobs where it's not hard, but it's also not simple, if that makes sense, because yeah, we know what we got to do is clean, but there's a lot of things that could be missed, a lot of attention to detail, bits of it that will instantly cause dissatisfaction from the guest. So this right here is one of the units next door. As you can see, it looks very similar to the last one. This one has not been cleaned yet, and this is just to kind of show you how a guest can possibly leave things once they're gone. So far, it doesn't look too bad, but the bedrooms is always where it's typically pretty horrible. Actually, not too bad. Looks like they just a normal user. We got some, towels here. I instruct people to, put their towels on the floor a lot of times. That way the team can just collect them really easily and wash them. So you see they're here on the floor. The bedroom here, not bad at all. Some of these might not even be used, but wash them anyway. Let's see the master. And as you can see, they didn't even use this bed over here. You can tell by the corners here. This is exactly how it was when we left it. And obviously they used this one bed here. And we got a little bit of trash in there. But overall, these guests were actually treated the house really well. And I'm happy to see that, because you'll be surprised of the kind of things you see and how dirty places are when you come in after a guest stay. So I'm happy that the place is in good condition, but it doesn't make for much of an exciting video. So we're gonna go next door and see what's going on over there. Here we have our last unit we're gonna look at today. Had a different team clean this one to do a little test clean. So now we're doing our inspections. I like to inspect kitchen area, making sure the counters are clear of any smudges or dust. Check the sink to make sure that's good. They did the windows as well, which is good. So what I also like to do is touch random surfaces so that we can see if it's been dusted or not. And then just check my hand. Also, to see if someone really cleaned well is to catch behind the TV. Here's the first of 2 bedrooms. It's not really a lot to miss, to be honest with you. But make sure the sheets are clean, no hair, that kind of thing. And going into the master, everything looks good here. But we like to test certain things. Mirror looks clean. Now this counter does have marks on it, but this is nothing that can be removed without a paint, I guess. So everything here is decent. This was this team's first clean. Overall did pretty good. Has a nice smell coming in as soon as you walk inside. So I'd say for this clean, we'll give it about a 8 out of 10. I realized that I used to be super picky and wanted it to be perfect on the first go around, but each cleaner, they don't know exactly what I need until I explain it to them. So once I sit down with them, explain it to them, do a walkthrough and really go over what really needs to be done, because other hosts might not be as strict as I am. They just want the bare minimum done and people are used to that. But working with the amount of cleaners that I've worked with in the past, I need to actually show them specific things that need to be done. That way they, moving forward, know what they need to do. Now, if I show them these things and then they still miss them the next go around, then I start looking for replacements. But I like to give people a second chance. If it's, 7 or 8 out of 10, I'll give them another chance and show them how we can get to a 9 or a 10 out of 10. But if I had a cleaner and they were like a 5 out of 10, I wouldn't even hire them a second time. I had cleaners in the past where I had to do a test clean. They did one. It was well below par, and I just said, hey, listen, thank you, and I just moved right along. So you gotta be a little bit lenient when it comes to this, because like I said before, cleaning is easy, but at the same time, you need to be detail oriented. So with that being said, let's move on. So now we're in the backyard, checking out the pool, make sure there's no trash, just for an inspection. I did notice though that there are a bunch of leaves in there, which the pool maintenance guys take care of every week. However, since I'm here, I'm just gonna handle it myself.
I came from none, turn it into plans, stacking these wins, put the world in my hands.
All right, guys, let me know how I did.
Pressure made diamonds, not a chain, never stop. Boss moves only, I don't talk, I apply. Vision so clear, you can see it in my eye. Every setback was fuel for the flame.